Hey, I'm Jason Balin with the HMB Podcast, and welcome to another great expert interview. My guest today is Rob Kosberg from Bestseller Publishing. We dive into Rob's background of how he got started in the publishing business, some best business practices, and what has led to his success. And also, is writing a book right for you? Please help me welcome Rob to the show. Hey, what's up, Rob? Thanks again for coming on the show.
Jason, great to be with you, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. So before we get kind of started, I want to learn a little bit about you, Rob. Like, we're going to talk a little bit about your background, how you got started in the business, maybe even figure out if writing a book is something that's right for the audience that's following us today.
Cool.
Then we're going to dive in a little bit about some higher level things. Let's talk about mindset, goal setting, and some other best business practices that I'm sure a lot of people are extremely interested in, and they're very applicable to a lot of the followers here. So, Rob, let's just start off. Just give us a little background about yourself, how you got started, and where you're at now with Bestseller Publishing.
Yeah, so how I got started in Bestseller Publishing, I really backed into it. I'd love to tell you that I had a big master plan or something like that, but the truth is that's not the case, right? I was in real estate, and I'd been in real estate a long time. I'm 52 now. I got my real estate license when I turned 18. My dad owned a real estate company. And in the early 2000s, I owned 3 real estate related businesses. We were doing about $100 million a year in transactions, making a lot of money. And I was a little bit handcuffed to it because, quite frankly, I was tired of it. I wanted to get out of it. And, the financial real estate crisis unhandcuffed me.
Sure. Without you even knowing it, just like that.
Not so pleasant a way, right? And, I was in a couple of mastermind type coaching groups. And, talking to guys, and I'm like, look, I'm ready to make a transition out of real estate. I really wanted to go into financial services, which was too closely akin, but that is kind of later. And I just said, hey, what's the best way for me to transition into a new industry and really get known, become like a credible authority, et cetera? What do you suggest? And they said, you should write a book. And they both were best-selling authors, and both the guys that gave me advice. And quite frankly, I had never thought of it, but I wrote a book. It became really successful. I ended up having my own live radio show I did, for several years. Exploded that business in a really terrible economy, 2009, still bad,
yep.
To millions of dollars right out of the gate. And people started coming to me and asking me, how are you doing it? Can you help me? Because I told them it was the book. And so Bestseller Publishing was born a couple of years later, all because of, my own success, if you will.
Sure. So what was that first book about? Was that in the financial services industry, that book?
Yeah,
okay,
totally. It was called Life After Death.
You learned the process of writing a book and communicating information that you were an expert in, to your followers.
Yeah, I learned, I learned by failing, right? I'm not a, I'm a video guy. I was on radio for time, so I like to speak. And so I actually tried to initially have my book ghostwritten, traditionally ghostwritten. That did not go well. I spent tens of thousands of dollars, made a terrible mistake. I ended up grinding it out myself and learned later that lots of people have the same kind of challenge I had with traditional ghostwriting. So we kind of built our own proprietary process. So I kind of failed my way forward, if you will, into writing the book and making it successful.
Got it. So who would you say is like your target client right now that Bestseller Publishing is attracted to? Is it a small business owner? Or is it anybody who wants to write a book? Or is it, a particular person that works great for your team?
Yeah, nonfiction works great for us. So yes, typically it's a business person. So it's an expert, it's a consultant, it's a coach, someone who has a brick and mortar business. And, maybe they're at a level of success right now, but they really want to go to the next level. Maybe they want to go national. Maybe they want to go international. Maybe they want to get big speaking engagements, play on a bigger stage, or just, get to the point where they're no longer hunting for clients, but instead are positioned as the hunter. And that's what the book does. So that's, we've done some fiction and children's books, but our vast majority, nonfiction business related books.
Got it. So for a lot of people listening right now, they're probably like, hey, I don't have no idea how to write a book. I'm not a scholar. I'm not a full-time author. Yeah. And even when we wrote our book, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, I'm a math guy. I'm not an English guy, right? And
Right.
luckily we have a business partner that knows a little bit about English and can do content writing for us. But that's not my thing. So when like our book came out, it was like, how the heck did you guys write a book? And all of a sudden, and just like that. And let's kind of maybe like debunk the myth of you can write a book, right? Like you don't have to be this full-time author or the scholar. Like as far as I'm concerned, if we're entrepreneurs, we're small business owners, we're experts in our field. You may not think you're an expert, but you are.
Yes.
If you define the word expert, you know more than the majority of the people out there. I may not be the best real estate lender. You may not be the best book publisher. But that being said, you are clearly an expert. I'm clearly an expert. And you that's listening at home or in your car right now, you're an expert at your small business. So as far as I'm concerned, and you can expand on this a little bit, I'm guessing that's pretty much what it takes to, you have in your head of how you run your business. Now let's figure out a way to put this to paper and into, a published book similar to this.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the idea. There's a couple of like pitfalls people need to avoid. And the biggest mistakes or fears, maybe, questions, if you will, that people have are, what do I write about? They're an expert in their thing, but a lot of it is, unconscious excellence, right? They go about their stuff, they're teaching, they're experts in it, but they've been doing it maybe for so long that they don't realize all the intricacy involved in their expertise. So
Sure.
It's important to make sure that you have a book that is outward focused, meaning it's not about your life story. It's not even about your business. Now you can have your stories and your business stories in it, but really it has to be outward focused, meaning focused on who the reader or the ideal client is. And then what you do is you take your story, your client case studies, whatever, and you fit your content so that it answers the questions and the problems of your reader. So it's a matter of really pulling out the expertise and making it outward focused that a lot of people have a problem with.
Yeah. Would you say that is it safe to say that if you run a, successful or profitable business, let's just say, to define success, in this case, it's profits.
Yeah.
If you have a profitable business, top salesman, professional athlete, I mean, do all those people fall in the category of like a book will help you, you should write a book type of thing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've done books for U.S. ambassadors that wanted to, he wanted to expand his speaking presence. We've done books for, small business owners that have a couple 100,000 in revenue that are trying to attract more clients on a regular basis. We've done books for a guy who sold his company to Intel for $130 million because he wanted to get on the TED Talk speaking tour. And his agent said, it doesn't matter how much you sold your business for, you need a book, preferably a best-selling book. So, depending on what your goal is, look, if your goal is just to make royalties from your book, right? Then you're going to spend a whole lot of money and time and energy and resources to pick up nickels, right? But if your goal and you have something that's more expensive on the back end, if you have a business or you offer a service or coaching or consulting or speaking gigs, then your book is going to explode all of those opportunities.
Yeah. No, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So walk us through the process of what your company does, how I read a book, right? What's the process? Let's say, I'm a small business owner and I think writing a book's good for me. There's credibility, there's exposure, there's a lot of big reasons why. And, maybe I'm just the type of person that likes to educate people and think that, I can help people by sharing my story, sharing my experiences. And let's be honest, when you teach people, you learn yourself just by, talking out loud. So what would the process be like?
We've kind of broken it down into what we call phases, 3 phases. We call it publish, promote, and profit. Publish is everything revolving around the writing of the book. Promotion is everything revolved around promoting the book because the average book sells 200 copies in its lifetime, and 80% of those copies are to the author and the author's, relationships. So if you just are going to publish your book and cross your fingers, then it's going to be average, right? You have to have a promotion strategy. And then phase 3 is what we call the profit phase, which is all the strategies to really profit by PR, speaking engagements, lead generation, et cetera. So those are the 3 phases. Happy to go into more detail, but, I wanted at least, that's kind of the basics that we've broken it down to.
So what's the normal time frame to, let's just say, you start with an idea to you at least get a book in hand?
Yeah. Well, it's everything I just described. You got nothing to being on radio, TV. I mean, we've had clients on the Howard Stern show to U.S. News and World Report. From nothing to that is about a 1-year period. So it's about 6 months, and that's on average 1 session a week with an author. 6 months in the writing phase, what we call publish, about 2 or 3 months in the promotion phase, and 2 or 3 months in the profit phase. So a year roughly.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a good thing, and it's an interesting process. And I think this in general to a lot of business owners is new. Yeah. I mean, you live in, in the marketing world. Like, we all run businesses, but we're marketers first, right?
Right.
I mean,
no doubt.
Be publishing books. I just happen to be giving private loans to people. But at the same time, I mean, our daily activities are marketing related. But this concept is actually very new and surprising to a lot of small business owners. And I talk to them all the time. I talk to a lot of real estate investors. I talk to a lot of startups, law firms, things like that. I'm like, this is something that, you got to put on your to-do list to get going.
Yeah.
And like you said earlier, the goal might not mean make money. Hey, you're going to sell 200 of them. Like, what do you do? Like, there's not much money there, but the credibility and there's just so many other places that you don't know that it really go to.
Well, we don't want you to sell 200. That's why you need a promotion strategy. Right? 200 sucks. I mean, but if you do nothing, that's what you can expect.
Yeah, no, fair enough. So let me ask you some good, interesting questions. Would you say right now, are you spending the majority of your time on offense in your business or defense? And what I mean by offense is growth, marketing, high level stuff. Or are you stuck kind of in our world? I call it like transactional stuff, but let's call it operational stuff. Yeah. Is your focus right now just playing offense, winning the day, or do you feel like you're stuck more in the defense? The defense.
Yeah, no, good question. No, I'm an offensive guy. I like offense. That's what I do. Yeah. I mean, for me, it's I have 2 full-time publicists that work with our clients, but they're constantly booking me on. I fly next week to San Francisco to do a TV show. Last week we had a whole TV crew in here recording. So I'm always, I'm using the tools, if you will, that I give to other people. So offense is my deal.
Good. I mean, I think that's got to be the case on everybody. I mean, that's mine as well. And a lot of people I interview, they want to play offense, but they're stuck in defense, obviously. Yeah. And, usually the happy mold that, I talk to people about is, hey, if you're playing a little bit more offense and a little bit more defense, you're growing this way. And
exactly.
You're going up. Maybe it's not like this, but you're going in the positive direction. Yeah. What would you say is one of the best quality or characteristics you have that's really helped to lead to success?
Yeah, wow, that's a good one. The best, huh? I mean, some of it is genetic, right? I mean, now there are. I mean, I'm an extrovert. I love people. I love engaging with people. I'm not afraid of the camera. I'm not afraid to talk. So I mean, some of that is just genetic. But I would say there are plenty of people that aren't necessarily extroverted that if they just walk through the same steps. And so I'd say, backing into the answer, I would say like my routine. I have a great morning routine that kind of sets my day, and I know what my genius is, which is about the offense. Using your terminology, I love that terminology, by the way. And so I do everything I can to stay in my genius 50 to 80% of the time. And if I'm doing that, then we're going to get hundreds of leads every week, and there are plenty of people here to take care of them. And if there aren't, then I hire more and we figure it out.
I mean, you know what you're good at and you exploit that stuff. And, that's a
good way to put it.
That's important. I mean, we're involved in a lot of mastermind groups, and you are as well on national level, on a local level. And there's just so many people that are just kind of just stuck in their ways. They're like, I don't know how to expand. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. And it's just interesting. And it's interesting.
Do it.
Yeah.
You just do it and fail.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you got to listen, in all of our line of work, you got to be willing to fail 99 times out of 100. And
you really do, man.
You only need one.
That's right.
What are, do you think in your business, what's one thing that you're lacking? Like if you could think of like the next steps to help you succeed or take it to the next level. I mean, everyone, sounds like you got a great business, but
Yeah.
everyone's business obviously is not 100% perfect, and it's always lacking something to kind of take it to the next level. Like, what would you feel is lacking that you either want to work on as like a 2017 goal, or something to really, personally that kind of irks you that you want to push to the next level?
It's a long list. I mean, I have a long list. I'm oftentimes, I'm the kind of person that maybe is more thinks and gets stuck on that kind of stuff. So number one is easy. It's operations. I mean, we're a done for you business, right? So, as we scale up leads and growth, we have to scale up operations. We have 7 writers that write for us all here in the Southern California area. We do 15 or so new projects every month. If we want to grow to 20 or 25, then we have to operationally be able to handle that. So operations is always, it's always a challenge for me. It's not kind of my strength. The other thing, which is maybe common for a lot of guys like us, guys and gals, is the shiny object stuff, man. I tend to pivot a lot, not on my main business, but on new things that I'm trying. And, I'm a great starter. Yeah. Start up a project and then I try to hand it off to someone to actually do.
That's hard. That's tough. I mean, in a perfect world, when you're looking like this, it seems like it could work perfectly.
It does.
I mean, we've learned that the hard way in a lot of things as well. It's like, hey, this could work perfectly. Let's put this person in place. They'll run it, and magic. And then
it's like running it right.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it all kind of ends up that you spend a lot of time on, similar types of businesses or something else, and then it's like, why am I just spending the time on this when my core business is so profitable? And it's
exactly
like, let's just spend the extra time on this. And I've yet to really find call it a side business, a secondary business that backs out time and money compared to what we currently have. And I'm still trying to find that. And I think I'm going to continue to do that, continue to look, because call it, entrepreneur ADD, or call it whatever, this shiny object thing. The good thing is that we're both far along, and most people are far along in their careers. They know it's like, I'm not spending money on this. I'm not wasting time on this. So if I think that it's something that is an opportunity, I'm willing to take the leap and do it. But I'm not chasing something just to chase it and become a hobbyist or play business.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that either. I mean, we've shut down. I have a business partner that I work with on other projects, because obviously when people get books done through Bestseller Publishing and we launch them, we make them bestsellers guaranteed. We get them on radio, TV. There are still elements that they want after that. And so, whether it's lead gen via paid ads or something like that. And so I have a business partner that we do that kind of stuff with. And we've shut down, in the last 2 years, we've shut down a couple of different businesses that were doing 6 figures, but it's like, that wasn't enough revenue to keep us interested and focused. Like you said, the core business is too good to waste time on that stuff.
That, and I'm assuming, having the right partnerships with some of these people on things, and partnerships are, that's a whole different topic that ran about a different time, but, having the right, the operator, the right partner in things really is, that's the difference between an operation working and not working.
Exactly. I agree.
And I'll tell you from experience, this is like the craziest thing ever, but I've learned from having different partners in different types of businesses that some of them, the goal, even at startup time, is not the financial outcome of the business. And and you can probably agree that obviously all the things you get out of it, helping clients, building communities, things like that, that's all important. But if the financial element isn't there, your employees are out of a job. You're not helping anybody if you can't make dollars and cents. And that was new to me, but it was crazy that some of these partners I had, they wanted to build a great house, but they didn't care if we made any money on it. It's like, well, there's only so many houses I'm going to lose. I can lose $10,000 on for us to stay in business. Like, it doesn't work like that. And I get it. Like, we're helping these people and stuff, but no. So it's just interesting, the partner. Let me back up one question that I'm actually curious about. So when you did start Bestseller Publishing, besides that, it seemed to be a good business model. Was it something that you're passionate or really into, like writing books? And was it more like the writing element, or kind of helping clients? This was kind of like a backdoor marketing play to help clients, small business owners succeed. Or was it that you really were into, the writing of the book side, the old English side? I don't know.
It's not that for me. I'm the marketing guy, and that's why nonfiction and business owners tends to be our sweet spot, because I know I can help those people. I know I can help them to replicate the kind of success that I had, as long as they have their business and their back end in order. And so, when I kind of backed into this myself, my financial services company was doing great. I ended up selling that company about 4 years ago, but I just found that I really loved it. And, initially I didn't know if I could get other business owners, like maybe I just got lucky, right? I didn't know if I could like help someone else to replicate the success. Doing the book, yeah, I could help someone. We could set up the processes to do the book. But for me, the book is not the end of the story, no pun intended, right?
Agreed.
For me, the end of the story is this guy getting speaking engagements? Is this girl getting, new lead generation? Is it adding 6 figures, maybe 7 figures to their bottom line? That was what was exciting to me. And so that, for me, that's,
and it does, it spins into a lot of different ways. And that was kind of what I was thinking. I wasn't 100% sure actually, because originally, it meant like, hey, I own a publishing company, I own a book writing company. You're like, oh, this guy must be
an intellectual.
Smart. He must be super smart. He loves,
No,
and I mean, I've talked to several book publishing companies before, and I think a lot of those guys are the opposite. They are the ones that are like,
they are,
I'm so passionate about each one of these books, blah, blah, blah. And curious. It was
I'm passionate about the business.
Yeah.
I'm passionate about the author, really. Not about look, the content needs to be awesome. And
that's a given.
Yes. And it needs to be outward focused. It needs to be focused on their audience to get what they want in the end. But, if they go through all those gyrations and don't get what they want in the end, then it's like, wow, how painful, you know what I mean? To do all of that and not get what you really want out of it.
Yeah, and it's a good lesson learned to all business owners. It's, hey, whatever business or whatever product, service you're selling right now, that's just the business that you're in now. I mean, you're in the business of business. You're in the business of marketing. It's a much higher level thing. I mean, we could flip roles, right? And we could probably still have you could be successful in my place. I could be successful in your place, just based on that. Obviously, the product you have to be somewhat passionate about, right? But for the most part, I mean, even if you're selling widgets, we actually look at lending money as selling a widget. Like, this is what our mold is, and this is how it works. And it just, if it fits, great, let's do it. And we spend time just like you on higher level business activities. And I'm a firm believer that as long as the business model in general is pretty decent, doesn't have to be perfect, pretty decent, that any person that can run a business can operate it. So that's interesting stuff. So what would you say, and I'm going to venture to guess that you have goals written down, because
I do.
What are some either 5 or 10-year goals? You can either say 5 or 10 years. Like, get your game plan, I guess, when you're 57 or 60 or 62. Like, stick with this, venture off, like, just throw out one kind of really interesting goal that you have in place.
I don't have, at the moment, I don't have goals beyond like next career, if you will. Like, I really, I have something that I think really has legs because of the, both the desire in the marketplace for it, as well as the amount of like ROI that people get from it. So I don't have something beyond that, but I do have goals for this, and I have goals for me. I mean, for me and for my family at that stage of my life, their retirement, that kind of stuff doesn't interest me. I play 36 holes of golf a week, played yesterday. Maybe I could play 4 times a week instead of, 36 holes or whatever. But that's not what motivates me. I think what motivates me is I want to be useful to the community, my family. And so, have all of these goals for nonprofits and working with especially children and older people. I was raised by my grandparents outside of Washington, D.C., and, not, kind of in your neck of the woods. And so, really motivated by what they did for me, as a child. And so I have goals, and they're more kind of central to that. It's at this point, money and all of that is important. And, maybe a house in Hawaii would be nice,
Well, I mean, you need money for all that stuff.
You do. You do.
And it doesn't matter if you're a for-profit business or a non-profit business. A non-profit business needs money. You know what I mean?
Absolutely it does. Yeah.
And so
you can't be a broke non-profit.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't really that. And so this kind of leads me to my last question as well, which has to do with retirement. And I actually interview a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs related to this. Like, is Rob the type of guy that when you retire, you're like, sell all my assets, sell whatever I have, I'm gonna take as much money as I can, and I'm out. I'm throwing my cell phone in the Pacific Ocean. I'm out. Find me on a beach. Or are you like, I'm gonna grind until the end, and and that's what I'm gonna do. Like, I love work. That's what I'm gonna do. Or is it somewhere kind of maybe a little somewhere in between?
Well, I mean, it's definitely on the grind scale. I have no desire. I love my cell phone. I love email. You know what I mean? I love engaging with people. I just do. I mean, some people are energized by other people, and some people go into a crowded room and they lose all of their gas and juice, right? That's kind of genetic. For me, I'm just energized by it. So no, now, do I want to reduce the grind a little bit? Yeah, I already have, and that will probably continue, but I'll always want to mentor, coach, and be involved in business. I like the deal too much. You know what I mean? Like
that's everybody. I mean, I think that's a lot of people I've interviewed, including myself.
Yeah. I can't imagine. I mean, my dad is in his mid 70s. He had me pretty young, and he likes the deal now as much as he did then. He's still out there hustling and having fun. And, he has plenty of downtime, more than ever before, but I see myself the same way.
I mean, this is what we do for fun. Like, this is part of fun.
Right?
I mean, there's golf, there's business, that's conducting, you're checking on,
and we're going to play together soon, I think, right?
That's right. That's right. The financial statements that we're all checking on. I mean, that's just what it is. And I mean, we talk about it all the time. And I mean, maybe the lesson learned is if you're not having fun what you're doing right now, you need to change things up.
That may be it, right? I mean, if we really felt like we were grinding, then I probably would want to take my cell phone and toss it. Right? But I don't. I really don't.
Yeah. And it's, there's a lot of entrepreneurs that pretty much just give themselves jobs and turn their day-to-day activity into job. And a real easy remark that I have for them, it's like, hey man, why don't you just go work for the competitor across the street? You can work 9 to 5. You don't have to answer your phone after it, and you have no risk of liability.
That's right.
And you probably make similar amount of money. So get your act together and, make sure you're doing what you like doing. So,
yeah. Well,
cool. I certainly appreciate it. What's the best way that everybody can get in touch with you?
Yeah, probably, our website, bestsellerpublishing.org. My email is rob@bestsellerpublishing.org. Hopefully I won't regret giving that out.
I mean, there's only gonna be like, I don't know, a few million people watching.
Like I said,
that's a good thing.
I like it. I like people. I like my email. I like my cell phone. So yeah, I mean, we have tons of content on there. If people want to connect with us, they can connect with me directly, or we have 16 people that work at BSP doing various things and are happy to. I mean, this is what we love, man.
No, absolutely. I certainly appreciate it. For everyone that's watching, I can personally vouch for Rob. He had an involvement with this book right here, the Whiteboard. If you don't have it, pick it up.
That's right.
It's there, and this is
already a bestseller.
already a bestseller. We'll put that right there. So hope you guys enjoyed this take on expert interviews. And Rob, I really, really, really thank you again.
Thanks, brother. Great being with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks again.